Here from yourappleplays.com. I have a week long, maybe plus, of Photoshop tutorials for you guys. So what version I'm using is Photoshop CS5. Open that up here, let it load. You have a 30-day free trial on Adobe, and it is, I'm gonna have to say, $600 to purchase. But you have to keep in your mind, if you're a student, you get a huge discount off of it. Maybe it's only $200, and they do a whole bunch of different discounts. But what we're going to do is we're going to learn your way around Photoshop, which is really important to be productive in working and, making great pictures, editing your own pictures, and all that. And we'll also be covering the different file types, or the two main file types. So if you hit Command M, I'll also go over keyboard controls that really work for me, that makes it more efficient to work. So I'll make a simple 1024 by 768, and I like to make it transparent just so I can do whatever I want with it. Alright, so over here you have the pointer tool, which whatever layer you are on, you can drag whatever it is around. The hotkey for that is V. This is where you would just drag a selection over something or make a shape, fill it in. Lasso Tool does about the same thing. Magic Wand will take any color out. Let's say you have like a black thing. Let me see. I'll look up a little demonstration here. We grab an Apple symbol. This one's perfect. Open it up. Back to Photoshop. Hit the magic wand. Hit backspace. It takes the black background out. Here are a whole bunch of different tools, like the healing tool, blur. If you hit B, that's your brush tool. You can get several different brushes. I have a bunch of brushes here that I can use. E for erase. You can erase everything. And to make the stuff bigger, it's the not the parentheses, like not 9 and 0, but to the right of P. Those two will make it smaller and bigger. The alternative route would just be dragging it up here, but obviously that makes it a lot easier. And then gradients, which I love. You can add a gradient to whatever. Now, like, we could really go into great detail about all these different Photoshop tutorials to cover everything, which I might do if I think about something that I'd like to share with you guys. We could. Alright, so let's make another gradient here. Hit G. Make one like that. Okay, now, as you can see, I have both my layers here, but obviously layer 2 is on top. So whatever is on top is what is shown up front the most. So if I hit erase, and I have to be clicked on the layer that I want, which I wasn't, you can still see that the other one is behind it yet. Now what you could do is you can change the opacity down, where it kind of blends in there a little bit. You could also change all the different settings. Mostly what I know is overlay, screen, which kind of lets it show through, normal, soft light, color dodge, and multiply. Those are usually the only ones that I ever use, but whatever. Image, let's say you want to rotate an image or resize it, just hit Command T. That brings up your free transform tool, and when you're dragging it, it goes freely, so you can get your images out of proportion real easy. So the simple thing to do is just hold Shift, and it automatically keeps it in the original dimensions that you had it in previously. Click Enter. You can change like the brightness levels, all that good stuff in the image. Layer, you can add layer mask. all the different things to specific layers. And filters. The main filters that I use probably almost 100% of the time when I use Photoshop is Ghassan Blur and then Motion Blur, but mainly Ghassan almost every single time. Let me see what are the other ones. There isn't really any others, but those are definitely the main ones that I'd use in there. 3D, I'm not really sure of how to use. I never really had to use it. View, you don't really, and then you can change all your windows or whatever. And good thing about Photoshop is they have a bunch of stuff already pre-designed, so you can change it all up there. So that's pretty much a quick view of Photoshop to know where everything is. Down here is your colors panel. You can choose from a spectrum of about millions and millions and millions of colors. So if I would paint with that, or let's get something more noticeable, maybe like a blue. Oh, that's the eraser tool, maybe that's why. So like right there. Alright, if I change it to normal, boom. Now, Photoshop does it differently. If you click export, you will not get an image. You need to click Save for Web and Devices. This is where you can export your image. Now, the two main differences that I know of in Photoshop, JPEG and PNG files. JPEG works for almost everything. Now, notice I said almost. PNGs are the only file type that can be transparent. A perfect example of this is on our website. The Your Apple Plays banner, that is a PNG, because if I saved it as a JPEG, it'd be white behind it. So what that does is it makes just the text show up on the website so that the blue background right now can show through and that there's not just a white box up there. That is a major difference. So like if you're making a logo, anything for web design, I'd recommend being PNG and transparent because that just works way better. Otherwise, JPEG would probably be your best route to go since that's probably the most used file type for pictures. Now, not that. If you go back to JPEG, you can choose your different kinds. Obviously, you don't want original. That's 3 megabytes. Usually about the high 95 quality is very good. You can drag it down to fix your size. Like our Twitter background, I had to drag down the quality a little bit so it fit under 700 megs, I think. Not megs, kilobytes. Really much all this other stuff, I do not know. Just click save. It'll come up to where you want to save it at. And you're good. Automatically puts the .jpg on the end, and you're good to go. So that completes the first tutorial, I guess, on Photoshop. I'll have to come up with some other ones that I could show you guys. So definitely comment below or retweet me on Twitter, or send me a message or email on the website or whatever you want to do about things you would want to see done in Photoshop, and I would be glad to show them if I know how to do it, or even try and figure out how to do it in Photoshop. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. Sign up for the giveaways we will be doing on the website. And yeah, that's it. So, thanks for watching.